What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the podcast, Fishing with Poppy. We got two of the top anglers in the area. We got the legend Bank Boy and the casting cowboy, and we're gonna jump right in. Odell, tell me how long you been fishing.
I've been fishing all my life. I mean, as far as I can remember, I've been fishing. My grandmother on my father's side, she the one who started, you know. That's what she did. She fished, she got all the grandkids, she kept us on the water, you know, catching bluegills, and it's stuck. It's stuck with me, and you know, that's what I've been doing all my life. I love it, you know. It's the best thing going right now.
How long you been fishing?
Basically the same thing, you know. I've been fishing all my life, you know. Grew up fishing since I was a little boy. You know, then life got in the way, you know. I kind of just put fishing off to the side, you know, got into other stuff, and then.
I think we all started when we were kids. But when did you pick it up and be like, oh, this is my thing?
2018. Yeah, 2018. I created my Instagram, and then I got my first sponsor. This is my first sponsor right here, Fishin. They're actually a company out of Arizona. Man, whenever that happened, I was like, all right, I can do this.
Yeah.
And so then I just started trying to create my own brand, and it's been on since then.
Talk a little bit about branding.
I mean, branding is just, you just have your own thing. Like Flirt Skirts, they, when they gave me my sponsorship, they pretty much gave me my own avenue. I was really just doing my own thing, Everybody was kind of like, I felt like everybody was kind of like just doing the same thing. And so I just wanted to create my own thing. And I mean, I was the first person in Texas, to represent this company. So I think that's pretty cool.
That's dope. That's dope. Story when the fishing got real for you, when you picked it up and was like, yeah, this is it.
Well, like he was saying, I kind of put fishing on the back burner growing up, going through my teenage years, and ran the streets a little bit. And, that was after my parents passed away, probably about 7 years ago. Well, 5 years ago is when I picked my pole back up, picked my rod and reel back up. To be honest, had a talk with God and asked him to give me a path and give me an idea. I wanted to do something new. I created a fishing group, Bank Boys Going Catfishing. And I started going fishing where I would normally fish, was the Trinity River, with my dad. And I started catching gars. I started off catching a few small ones, but then I started watching a few videos and getting some tips. And the bigger the bait, the bigger the fish. So I started using giant baits, doing something I'd never done before, just trying it because I'm that type of person. And I started putting big pieces, and I'm laughing at myself, saying, ain't nothing to bite this, but yeah. I got my first hook on, and it went from there, and I took off with gar fishing, and I opened it up. I mean, I opened the Trinity River up, period, to everybody in the DFW, basically.
Now, you are the gar legend in DFW.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that. How did it?
Well, it's I went through a few fishing groups. It started off, I met a guy named Roberto at Joe Poo Down. I was catching bait. He had been down there for a couple of hours, he couldn't catch nothing. He saw me catching bait, he was like, damn, you can fish. And I was like, yeah, that's what I do. So he said, you want to join a team? And I was all excited, yeah, for real, a real fishing team? So I got in with him, I went and joined it, which wasn't a team, it was an actual group. It was a fishing group. So I went with a couple of outings with them, and they fished lakes. I'm not a lake fisherman. They go out, they'll go Friday and they'll stay to Sunday. And probably catch 3 fish. I left one group, went to another group. I was with a lot of Spanish guys, you know what I'm saying? But, some don't speak Spanish, and then not too much English. I mean, real Spanish guys. Vatos, whatever. My homeboy, the one who introduced me, was telling me, man, they laughing at you, Odell, because you don't be catching nothing. So it kind of, triggered the hood side of it. Yeah. I said, man, now hold on, I can't be getting laughed at. I said, you know what? I'm gonna create my own group. My group started growing real fast, and there's a lot of other groups out here. They was throwing tournaments and everything, and we were doing our own thing. They were laughing at us. Bank Boys, they fishing the trashy Trinity. Yeah. They talked about it. So they was throwing a tournament that was called, well, it really didn't have a name, but the Bank Boys were getting kind of popular. So they wanted the Bank Boys to join their tournament. I was like, yeah, you know what, we'll do it. But if we're gonna do it, we're gonna add a fish, because it was a catfish tournament. Flatheads and blue cats. I switched it up. I said, so if y'all gonna do that, I like to fish the river. We're gonna have to add the fish. We're gonna have to add alligator gar. So we added alligator gar, which was flathead, blue cat, and alligator gar for the tournament. The tournament was a month long, which was crazy. You know, I'd never do that again. But day one of the tournament, all of the groups that was there, they went to their lakes. You know, we had to go live. That's how you do it. You go live when you hook up with the fish and go live to the group. Nobody caught nothing, nowhere. Guess what the bank boys were doing? On the Trinity River, 2 big blue cats, 3 big flatheads, and a monster gar. Those same groups that laughed at the bank boys, guess what it was the next day and still to this day?
Yeah.
On the Trinity River. On the Trinity River.
So gar is your favorite fish to go after.
Yes.
What is your favorite fish to go after?
My number 1 is bass, largemouth bass. And then number 2 would probably be crappie.
Crappie.
Yeah.
We're, talk about a bass catch and what lake that you kind of got your PB, your personal best.
I actually got my personal best at a small neighborhood pond in Fort Worth, Texas, that a friend told me about. It was crazy because like I was going there and I was getting skunked, and skunk and bass fishing mean you don't catch no fish. It's kind of like a bad thing. I think everybody uses that terminology, but I was going there and I kept getting skunked, but I caught it like a nice little small quality, like 2.5 pounder. So I just kept going back, and then one day I was just there by my. One day I went by myself in the summer, and I threw out the same spot out by the fountain. And then next thing you know, pole was bent, reeled it in, had a scale, 4.6. That's my largest one I caught so far.
That's a younger. That's a younger.
So I've caught some nice bass. Lost some nice bass. So, but right now the goal is to get like a 7-8 pounder. Maybe a double digit. That's like a lifetime goal right there. 10 pounder.
Is there a system to your casting, or do you just walk up to the water and throw?
No, I mean when I first walk up to the bank, I mean I like to throw out deep. So I'm either looking for like I like to fish ponds with fountains because I know that's where the bass like to hang out. So when I first walk up, I might cast around the bank for a little bit and then work my way out to that fountain. And when I'm throwing out there, I let it fall all the way to the bottom. It probably take about 5-6 seconds, and then when I start reeling, I'll reel it real slow and let it stay on the bottom. And then as it going through the strike zone, I let it fall and pick it back up. Let it fall, pick it back up, and usually on that 3rd time of picking it up, letting it fall, it's gonna be one on there.
You gotta. What's your casting system when you go out? Do you just throw out?
Yeah, well,
Are you looking for certain things when you?
Well, on the Trinity, when it comes to fishing for gar, I like to fish where there's a lot of structure in the water. You know, you'll see a lot of trees and stuff in the water. That's where they like to hang. You know, they hang on the bank. So basically, I like to throw close to the bank, close to some structure in the water. But the thing about it is, when you hook that fish right there by the structure, that's why I got such a big pole. You got to hold that fish. All that drag, letting them run. Like a lot of people let their gar run. Just let them run. No.
So you stick and pull right from the
I'm a fighter, you know what I'm saying? I lock down on him, he ain't going nowhere. So then I have to guide him. You know, it's a lot to fishing, you know, especially big fishing. I fish for big fish. I want monster everything. I don't fish for little fish. If I catch something little and he legal, he's bait. He's bait. For real. I'm a monster fisherman. That's what I do. I fish for monster.
No, that's a good contrast. Bass fisherman, monster fisherman.
Yeah, when he catch, I'll use for bait. The whole thing. But yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your favorite reel and rod.
Well, my favorite reel is a PIN 8000 or PIN 8500. Just PIN.
Pick it up.
I love the PIN.
Yeah.
Right here, what I got a PIN 8000, a PIN Fierce 2 8000, and I'm using a slime cat, 12-foot slime cat, which I'm sponsored by, you know. And this is what I use, 100-pound braid. And I don't have a gar rig on right now, but I use wire. I don't use cable. A lot of people use cable. I use wire. A lot of people use cable. I don't use cable. I use actual wire. This is what I use. I use wire. And I use about...
Explain a little bit what the wire does for those that don't.
All right, the wire with an alligator gar, you know, a gar got teeth. Without this wire, ain't no use in fishing for him. He gonna cut everything and break everything. This right here is 131 pounds. But he can't cut it, his teeth can't cut this. What I do, I make it arm length. Because the gar I catch are so big, the mouth length is so long that, you know, you gotta make it long enough. With a slip weight on my line, with a 10-aught treble hook. And the reason I use a 10-aught treble hook is because I mouth hook. A lot of people like to let a gar swallow the hook. That's what they let the fish do the running. And you snatching and setting that hook into his intestines. You know, you can tie up something and make a blockage for the next round, even though you're cutting the line. What I do is mouth hook. A lot of people are scared to get that hook out. I'm not. You know, I got videos.
They got teeth.
Yeah, I know, but they're not aggressive like people think. You know, what I do, you know, if the pole just barely boop, I get up, I get close. Cause that next boop, he gonna start folding. They go slow. They not like a catfish just slam. A gar take off real slow and quietly. Your pole start folding, I picks it up. When he pick that bait up and starts swimming off, I'ma hit him because a gar got a pouch, a big gar. You wanna rephrase that. A big gar got a pouch just like a gator. So in the size of my bait, which I use a whole carp egg, when he put it in his mouth, it's in that pouch. I don't gotta wait on him to swallow it because I got the 10-aught. I go ahead and hit him right there, boom, I got him. That 10-aught gonna hook him. But then when I get him out, I got a tool. This is a river rodder, you know, from one of my other sponsors. This is the only thing that's gonna hold a pole like this when it comes to fishing on the Trinity River. I actually use this point, you know, the gar open his mouth once I get him on the bank and everything. The gar opens his mouth, I put this in there, pry it open a little bit, and I got some long needle nose. I stick in there and get my hook out, boom. Put him back in the water, no harm.
If you had to pick one real, well, you brought yours.
Yeah,
Talk about it a little bit.
All right, this is a 7-foot medium heavy bait caster. It's actually a rod. I was sponsored by Enigma Fishing. I don't know if you heard of them. Enigma Fishing. This is probably my #1 go-to rod. Like I said, I like to when I make a long cast, you want a long rod, but you also, I said medium heavy. You want to have enough backing so when you set the hook that you don't get your rod snapped. So this is like my #1 go-to, and as you see, I got it tied on here. I got that flirt skirts bladed jig tied on. That's my #1 bait I throw.
Let's show the camera that jig.
Oh.
In the trailer, I always throw any type of craw. You know, I try to match the skirt. You know, see, there's like a little purple in there, so I try to match it up to the skirt as best as I can. But this is gonna be my #1 bait I always throw when I first walk up to bait. I'm always gonna throw a chatterbait when I walk up. And I actually caught my PB on this exact color. This the color is a Nasty 2.0, and the reel is Abu Garcia. It's actually the reel I took off of my Black Max, Abu Garcia, when I got sponsored. So just took the reel off, put it on the rod. So it's just a simple rod and reel, you know, nothing major. And that's my go-to. I think I got like 15-pound fluorocarbon line on there. So not have to worry about snapping off. You know, you get a big one on there, you don't have to worry about snapping off. As long as your drag set up good, you got your good knot tied up, you should be good to go.
So, if you had to pick one thing that made you a better fisherman, angler, what would it be? Would it be like a tool? Would it be a person? Something you thought? What like made you instantly better?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't think it is nothing. I think I'm maxed out as far as
Any fish, I catch all fish. I love catching gar, but I catch all fish. Catch whatever. In the ocean, if it's out there, I can go get it.
So there's not like a tool, maybe some new line that came out, a piece of equipment?
No.
Or is it more like you just gotta go fish?
It's your skills and your talent, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
So the experience.
I can use a broomstick with some yarn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I got enough yarn to let him run,
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring that fish in. You know what I'm saying? I can fish, bro. It's just your skills and your talent of what you do and how you handle your fish.
Same question. Was there like one thing that made you a better fisherman, or a piece of equipment? A couple of my other guests said that YouTube made them better because they're able to see more, like get more ideas from different anglers and then apply it to themselves.
Yeah, I mean, that's really my go-to when I want to learn a new technique. I just go on YouTube, you know, just do a lot of homework before I go out there. I don't mean, sometimes I'll just go out there and hit the water, but for the most part, I'm on YouTube, you know, trying to learn everything I can about a certain technique.
And what advice would you give to people just starting out?
Well,
What do
if
they
you
need to look
want
out
to, if
for?
you want to be a gar fisherman, you're gonna have to start off with some big gear. Anything, you know, a big reel. You have to have a big reel, and everybody don't use 12-foot poles. I love them. I like to go big and heavy because I don't want to lose nothing. So I use 100-pound line, big reel like a 8,000 PN 8,000, and my 12-foot slime cat. You know.
Same question. What advice you give like beginners who want to kind of do what you do or take from you?
I mean, I can't stress enough having the proper equipment, like he said, especially bass fishing. I mean, you know, you're gonna have two different types of setups. You're gonna have a spinning rod, you're gonna have a bait caster. So you just want to make sure you have the proper equipment when you go out there. You know, line, I don't have a preference. As long as, you know, like my main go-to is 15-pound fluorocarbon. That's mainly what I throw on all my bait casters. So I don't have a preference online, you know, it really don't matter. It's all the same to me. So.
Hold up, y'all. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Peace and life, family. We can't imagine a world without art. It's been our highest honor to service the DFW area. Every artist at the candy shop puts your health and safety first. Since opening the candy shop 10 years ago, we've always been an all-disposable tattoo shop. At the candy shop, we've taken extra initiative to go above and beyond the new updated COVID-19 regulations. Grab your phone and follow us on Instagram at OG Poppy. Instagram at OG Poppy.
We were just talking about sponsorship. A lot of guys in my inbox, a lot of kids just starting fishing. So we want to talk a little bit about the politics. How did you get your sponsor? And maybe line up how to, what you got to do to kind of go after those sponsorships.
I mean, how I got my sponsorship was just basically just creating my own content, you know, just going out fishing every day, just posting my catches, and, you know, they like this gentleman said earlier, you know, they kind of, if you're just out there fishing every day, the sponsors will find you, you know. When you have your sponsorship, always keep in mind that it's not just about you, you know, you're representing, you know, a whole company, somebody's brand that they worked hard to make. So
You're gonna have to basically help them push the brand.
yeah, you got to do a lot of, it's a lot of, there's a lot of leg work to it, but you know, if your heart's right, if your attitude is right, you know, the sky's the limit, you know.
Odell, speak to dealing with, now you've done tournaments. So somebody looking to get into tournaments, and then you know the kind of the back door of it all. Speak a little bit about that.
Before, I created a tournament.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't fished too many tournaments. I didn't even get to fish my own tournament. You know, but creating a tournament, oh my God, that's a lot of work, man. That is a lot of work. And it started off with you gotta have some sponsors. And sponsorship, like he was saying with the sponsorship, with me and my sponsorship, you know, I'm a fisherman. I didn't really look for sponsors. I just, like he was saying, I posted my videos and people like it. And then I got a good fan base, you know. I got a lot of people out there around the world now that know who I am, and you know, and that helps.
What kind of politics did you have to deal with when you were creating your tournament? You have people not hold up their end?
Yeah, I had a
Was there
lot of people. I had a lot of support. When I first opened it, man, I mean, I had the world, bro. Everybody was supportive, and still to this day.
All right, y'all, that's it for the show. Hit us up on Instagram at OG Poppy or Fishing with Poppy, and go ahead and give your contact.
Yeah, you can find me on IG at CastingCowboy817.
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook at Odell Allen, the Bank Boy, and I have a YouTube channel, Husband and Wife Fishing Adventure.
All right, y'all, we'll see you on the next Fishing with Poppy.